Hey everyone, welcome to my life as a couch potato. Jim is losing interest in life, with emotions going up and down like a roller coaster, living each day like it's a dream. He occasionally complains about life's special treatment. Why is everyone else snoozing while he's the unlucky one? But hey, this venting finally gave Jim a new goal. Behind the sleep zone, there's a secret compartment with two spacesuits. Thanks to the smart assistant's guidance, Jim finally manages to get suited up, ready to blast off into space. With silly Zeus urging, Jim hits the red button, secures himself, floats to the edge, gazing out smoothly, then unobstructed. What unfolded before him was the endless universe. Jim looked around, hit the Aurora button, and casually drifted into the vastness of space, staring at the enchanting darkness ahead. Jim finally burst into tears, feeling how tiny his life was against the dazzling stars. If he couldn't see a future, maybe it was time to go off the grid with the stars. Endless loneliness made him ponder cosmic dust. Better to depart with style than endure despair. Just a press of the red button and he could be whisked away, no longer a couch potato drifting through life. But Jim couldn't muster courage. Fear of death overpowered loneliness. He wanted to live a bit longer. But it was this retreat that led him to accidentally glimpse the earthly angel who made his heart skip a beat. Her arrival filled Jim's heart void and quietly altered the fate of 5,000 snoozing passengers on the ship. Jim became obsessed with her video profile, feeling like a true fanboy. From that day on, he was her loyal admirer. He dined while watching her videos, grinning like a doofus. But the more he learned about her, the more bizarre thoughts crept into his mind. If he woke her up now, his life might not be so lonely, but it would destroy hers. Jim found himself in a deep moral pickle. He even reached out to Arthur in search of some answers. However, looking at the unfeeling butt, it appeared quite impossible for therapy to be an option. The lonely Jim finally made a decision. He cleaned up, shaved his beard, and looked dapper again, though inside he was still in turmoil. But he mustered the courage and approached the sleep pod with his tools. Everything began with that accidental glance, and now Aurora was about to wake up. Jim's expression shifted from excitement to panic. He knew it was a one-way ticket to murder and rushed back to his room before Aurora fully woke. Because of his cowardice, he chose a despicable path. His mixed emotions made him anxious, but it was reversible. As the elevator moved, Jim tiptoed into the ship's hull, pretending to bump into the bewildered woman. Faced with Aurora's questions, Jim pretended to be calm, leading her to the observation deck, telling her the ship had another 89 years to reach the new home. Aurora couldn't accept it. She desperately searched for her sleep pod to snooze again, but Jim stopped her. Jim delivered the devastating news, and after hearing it, Aurora utterly shattered. She went nuts, smashing the cockpit door like Jim once did, but it was futile because Jim had tried every possible way during the year before she woke up. After a few days of turmoil, Aurora had to face reality and started a friendly chat with the seemingly proper Jim. Each time she thought about spending the rest of her life on the spaceship, Aurora felt an immense sense of loss. Guilt-ridden, Jim sought Arthur for help, but he could never tell Aurora the truth. He thought Arthur would keep the secret, but bought support so they could never be as suave as humans, and Aurora would eventually discover the truth. But right now, she was blissfully unaware. As time passed, with Jim by her side, Aurora slowly adapted to life on the ship. The two grew closer, dancing wildly in the hot tub and hanging out at Arthur's bar. Jim was no longer lonely. Unbeknownst to Aurora, she grew fond of the man who ruined her life and happily accepted his dates. Until the moment they strolled in space wearing their spacesuits, Aurora finally let go of the past. She no longer complained about life's injustices. They shared happy times together, but life is a ticking time bomb. Just as Aurora decided to spend her life with Jim, she unexpectedly learned a secret that could shatter her, thanks to an offhand comment from Jim that confused good old robotic Arthur. While Jim went to the restroom to fetch the engagement ring, Arthur blurted out the shocking secret. A year ago, Jim was excited to meet you. What? Did he take months to consider marrying you? Jim and I are married, aren't we? Are you also planning to marry me? Seeing the gig was up, Jim had no choice but to confess, but this pushed Aurora into an even deeper abyss, far worse than when she first woke up. We'll be together. I can't see it, Aurora. Just leave me alone. From heartbreak to fury, Aurora endured unimaginable torment, but little did she know her tragic fate brought unexpected hope to the rest of the sleeping passengers. That night, a furious Aurora barged into Jim's room, unleashing a storm of kicks on the man who ruined her life. After a flurry of punches, she still couldn't cool off. She grabbed a metal rod, ready to send him off to the afterlife with style. But when she saw Jim with his hands up, ready to own his mistakes, she ultimately couldn't bring herself to strike. On one hand, killing him didn't seem right. On the other, she feared facing an eternity of solitude alone. To seek forgiveness from Aurora, Jim used the ship's PH system to apologize and declare his unconditional love. Aurora, I don't want to leave you. I don't care about what you want. You don't care what I want. You threw my life away. Once loving, now they felt worlds apart. What they didn't know was that Jim's pod fell because the ship had significant damage. The situation was worsening quickly. The elevator lost control, and as he squeezed himself out, he nearly got chopped in half by a suddenly functioning elevator. The dining hall had issues too. Gourmet food was replaced by a massive soybean eruption. What a tragedy. Just then, a third voice echoed through the hall. Want to know what happens next? Make sure to subscribe to our channel.